I'll be buried in my grave before I become a slave, yeah. That is what I heard them say way back in the day. I'll be buried in my grave before I become a slave, yeah, yeah. But it seems like since that day, yeah, we have sorely changed. I'll be buried in my grave before I become a slave, yeah, yeah. That is what I heard them say, yeah. Way back in the day. I'll be buried in my grave, yeah, before I become a slave, yeah, yeah. But it seems like since that day, yeah, we have sorely changed. Whoa. Hey, hey. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 oh.
And now, live from beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, you're watching My Fellow Americans with your host, Spike Cohen.
Yes, welcome. Thank you. Welcome to the show. What a beautiful, beautiful audience. What a beautiful audience. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes. Clap if you believe. We don't. How would we know you believe if you don't clap? Welcome to My Fellow Americans. I am literally Spike Cohen. Guys, I'm so excited that I got the show to work because I spent the last half hour with it not working. And so this is much better than that, where it's actually working, apparently. Because, yeah, am I looking? Yep, sure it is. So happy to have you guys on. This is, as always, a Muddied Waters media production and cannot be reproduced, copied, or distributed without the express written consent of the Russian government. The Russian government. Beepski, boopski. Guys, thank you so much. I would like to thank, as always, Kroger brand purified drinking water for this delicious water that I drink on this and every episode of My Fellow Americans. Nostrovia. I'd also like to thank my wife for picking these grapes from our grape farm. They're delicious. Thank you so much, my wife. The intro and outro music that we use on this and every single episode of My Fellow Americans comes from my good friend Joe Davi, Jodavi. Find him on Facebook, I think he's on Twitter. Find him on YouTube, I think. Find him on Instagram, and he's on Bandcamp. Go on to Bandcamp, buy all of his music. It'll cost you like $8.75 to have all of the wonderful music of the amazing and talented Joe Davi. Shout out to Tehran Turks' mom and him. Guys, this is a very special episode. And I know I say that most episodes, but this is actually a very special one. Most of those other episodes are kind of... This is a really special one. And the reason it's special is because not only is this my first multiple person interview, this is the first time I have more than one guest, but this is the first time I have a family on my show, My Fellow Americans, with me, Spike Cohen. Guys, I would like to introduce, without any further ado, because I am so excited that I'm just trying to hold it all in. And so I would like to introduce to this show, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful and talented Paul Gordon and his equally beautiful and talented daughter, Nela. Guys, thank you so much for joining the show.
Oh, I don't even know how to start. I mean, Start off. First of all, we've been waiting for a half hour.
I know.
There were numerous false starts. I don't want to get into the details, but let's just say that
It got
he
pretty
wants
rough.
to
It got pretty
pass it
rough.
off as being kind of casual and like nobody was hurt. It's not how it happened. And then you start off the show and it's Nela. No, what's your name there, sir?
Nela.
No, I was told your name was Frank, so now I have to change all the notes.
Well, no, it's Nela.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll change that later.
I just had a disaster, by the way. I just want to let everybody know that I knocked over a water bottle that apparently did not have a lid on, and the water bottle has probably been down here since 3 months. And now for the rest of the show, I will be sitting in I'm going to say back number one kind of feeling. Back number one. Does that make sense?
Like
I'm
a puddle
trying to be delicate.
of what is essentially sewage water.
The back end has a sensation, like sometimes when you're prepared to let out an emotive, a gaseous monstrosity, and then you try out that it's not that. It's not gaseous, it's liquid, if you know what I'm saying.
Water.
But it feels like something happened, if you know what I'm saying. How are you not getting this?
No, I get
it.
I get it. I get it.
I'm dying out here, Yet I'm dying on the vine. My name is Paul Gordon.
This is Paul Gordon, everyone.
I don't even know what I do anymore. So I think I'm doing shows on Mondays on my YouTube, Facebook channel. That's about all I do. But I'm also here with Nela.
With Nela.
It's Nela.
Nela.
People. What?
Here, hold the mic. Here, you hold the mic. Because I think we're going to start with her, right? Isn't that right?
We're going to start with both of you.
And
if I call you Frank, I just want to apologize in advance because I'm not good with names. And so I spend a lot of time, I'm like, Frank. Like I'm looking at like, Frank. This is Frank. And so now, well, I mean, I don't judge people's names. I don't judge people's names.
Frank, look at her. I mean, that's a Frank.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to say that, but listen, so I'm going to try my best. Nela, thank you so much for joining this insanity.
What?
Speak.
I don't like speaking.
You're having a conversation. That's all you're doing. You're just talking to Spike.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Look,
just pretend that the
watching.
Thousands of people that are watching this right now aren't here. It's just me and you.
Yeah. Totally.
And your dad.
Yeah.
So how are you?
I'm good.
Well, that was a great show. Great show.
Great. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it.
That's why I picked her.
So, Nela, your dad was telling me about how you recently chose to get into the unschooling method, the homeschooling, where you're deprogramming yourself of all the terrible things they taught you in school. What would you say were the things that kind of made you decide that you wanted to pursue the rest of your education at home and kind of do the unschooling way of doing things?
Oh, well, I was watching this YouTube channel. It's called Freely the Banana Girl. Some people think she's really crazy, but she actually kind of, I don't know, she was talking about like freeing yourself and all that stuff, and she's like a minimalist. She's a vegan. She also inspired me to go vegan. But yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to do with my life, though. Like, I want to graduate at 16 and, I don't know, do more things than school can teach me.
There's not a, the thing is, especially at your age, this was my experience anyway. The longer I spent in actual public schooling, the more I realized that I wasn't actually learning anything and I was just kind of being babysat until I turned 18. And then they'd give me a piece of paper that said, hey, you sat there for 12 years. Thanks a lot for that. And then they send you off and there are people getting the pages and they're like, I can't read this. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, go off. You're going to have a great time. So you can clearly read, but there are people that will get that same sheet of paper that can't. So I think that's good that you've chosen to do that. What would you like? What is it you want to, you said you want to do more with your life and graduate at 16 so you can start doing stuff. What's the stuff you want to do once you get out there?
Okay, well, I want to buy a bunch of land and build my own house and get 13 guinea pigs because I love guinea pigs so much. And I've always wanted to have a bunch of guinea pigs and just start growing my own crops so I can kind of be more self-sustaining.
Exactly 13 guinea pigs?
Maybe more.
That sounds great. Okay, so Paul, what is like so in your doing this, are you using like a curriculum, or you're using your own method, or is there like an actual unschooling method, or is it sort of freestyle?
Well, because we live in reality around us, such as it is with a state,
Right.
we do have to we have probably more parameters than I would even have, but generally, so the general idea is she's got to try to pick a range of subjects that can fit within the state curriculum, but there's a wide range. You don't have to specifically have like math. You don't have to have like algebra 1 or whatever.
Right,
You
right,
know, you
right.
have to have math covered in some capacity, and there's a lot of ways, but that's just one example. But no, for the most part, it's 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 up to the kid. And um I don't I mean I've only been doing it for 3 weeks, and my daughter is she's a self-starter, she's a self-learner. So this wasn't like that's what she does. I don't really have much to do. I wish that she would actually use me more, and she doesn't. But that's you, in unschooling, basically, you're making yourself available. Yeah, you're checking, making sure that they're doing. But I'm telling you,
Right.
my daughter, she's organized. She's got her. I mean, we still don't exactly know how we're going to do our port. You have to do a portfolio, and you have an evaluator. We haven't picked an evaluator yet, so you have to wait till you get the evaluator to figure out how you do your portfolio and the best way. That's another story. But still, she is keeping all of her stuff neatly. Like she writes notes. She's taking way more data than she needs, so that when we need to do our portfolio, we have plenty of stuff to choose from and figure out
Now,
what we got to
is
do.
so is that something that's required by the state, or that's part of the program?
Oh no, that's the state. Okay, this is what I always told my daughter is if the state was not involved, the state had nothing to do. I wouldn't even be guiding her at all as far as the guiding would be that you're doing things.
Right.
I haven't really wrestled with like generally what you want to do, and we just began, so we haven't figured everything out yet. But you want to try to get your kid out there, out into the world, uh, interacting. You want to try to. There's internships. There's all kinds of and I have to. I'm in the process of trying to figure some stuff out. There's groups for her to join. She's going to be joining. We have to get a bassoon for her, but we're going to.
A
She's going to be joining.
bassoon.
Yeah, she plays bassoon.
Oh,
Her
cool.
mother plays bassoon. Her mother plays in the municipal band and another band, and she wants to get the bassoon because she wants to join her mother in those bands, and she has an invitation to do so. She's pretty decent.
Cool.
Um, but anyway, yeah, unschooling is it's self-directed learning, and you're the facilitator. You're there to give the kid the stuff that they need, and you're there to make sure that they're doing stuff. That's the key. They're doing stuff. What they're doing is not as important as that they're doing, and you make yourself available, and hopefully the kid involves you more. But I gotta say, well, I could go on. I won't. I was
Well,
gonna go on another tangent, but
it's also, she's. How old are you, Nela?
13.
Here, you
Oh,
hold
okay,
on.
yeah. So you're already you're early teenager, but you're already a teenager. I would imagine if she had started at 6 or 7 or something like that, there's going to be a lot more guidance needed. But you're dealing with a couple steps away from being
not not necessarily.
okay.
But I mean, I don't know necessarily. Like, and did you want to speak on that? Did you want to say something about that?
No.
And did you have a thought about that? Like, did you
No.
think there'd be like if you had? I think that she had started this when she was 6 or 7, she'd be way better off now.
I'd probably be learning different things though, because I might have discovered something, and I don't know. Like I've had more experiences now.
See, the thing about unschooling is you let your kids get obsessed with things when they're early. Like
Right.
whatever it is they get obsessed with, you let them do it. I
Hmm.
mean, within reason, like eating paint chips off the walls, maybe not, but we think that we have to teach kids in this compartmentalized way:
Right.
math, reading, science, and the much better way to, now this isn't to say that like people can have periods of time where they specialize in really learning math principles or whatever, but generally especially when you're younger, the way that people best learn is they're obsessed with a subject, and that subject leads them to all kinds of, interdisciplinary learning, I guess you could say.
All the
Uh,
learning that's related to
see,
that subject. Yeah.
but it's unschooling doesn't prescribe that every kid by the age of 6 has to read.
Right.
Some kids might not be reading at 6, and that might be just fine. Kids do. My daughter was a late bloomer when it came to reading. She struggled, and I think the reason she struggled was really simple. She wasn't interested in it.
Right.
But when you started to figure out that you needed to read to see some things and understand some things that you needed to understand, like you wanted to read books, all of a sudden, within a 2-month period of time, she pretty much went from being way behind to being advanced.
Because it was now something she wanted to do as opposed to.
And that's what happens with, so like even later on, what happens with unlearning kids or unlearning, unschooling kids is what I've seen. They
Don't
say
learn that.
So they'll come across like some weird deficiency that they just didn't cover. That
Right.
like some basic deficiency, they're able to pick it up, like catch up, like real quick, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's just okay. There may be some area, but in all these other areas, they're like way advanced. They're like their level of understanding. They're what Nela does is she applies her knowledge. Well, in some ways more than others, but anyway, here. Don't you want to say something about that here?
No, not really. I
Don't you have some thoughts?
No,
I want to hear your thoughts more than
I don't
mine,
have
actually.
thoughts.
You do.
I
What,
don't think.
what do
She's
you think
unthinking.
what do you
Yeah.
think of this? The unlearning approach as opposed to the
Unlearning?
schooling approach. I mean, the unschooling approach. Boy, that's Freudian. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Freudian approach. Freudian approach. Unschooling approach.
What do you say?
Comparing the two, you've
Oh.
spent and you've only had
Yeah.
3
How,
minutes of this.
how do you feel about what you're doing now compared to when you were in public school?
Oh, well, I feel like I'm learning a lot more every day, like a lot more than I was learning in school. In school, I actually felt like I was kind of getting dumber. Like, I feel
Yes.
like in 5th grade, I knew more than I do now. So, yeah.
That's very. So what you're saying is pretty much exactly how I felt. I feel like I learned pretty much everything I was going to learn by like, I don't know, 7th or 8th grade, and then after that, I really just started trailing off and getting really, really bored and started getting in a lot of trouble because I was in there and they were telling me things that I either didn't care about or already knew, and I was increasingly convinced that I was smarter than the people that were trying to tell this stuff to me, and I just didn't take any of it seriously anymore. And that's when I started, personally, I started having disciplinary problems, and the blessing of that was that it ended up resulting in me having to be schooled at home because no one else would school me. None of the other schools would take me, and so I did it's the unschooling method where all the schools say no, you have to go home now, or you go to jail. And so it was the same thing with me that but once I was at home and doing the stuff, I learned way more, and I the things that I remember about history and math and science and things like that are things I learned at home, not things that I had to sit there and try not to pass out, not to fall asleep. Did you find yourself falling asleep a lot or fighting the urge to fall asleep while you were in school?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, first of all, I wasn't a morning person, and it's like, yeah, it's 8:15 in the morning. Let's learn stuff, and you just look at them. I'm not learning anything. I'm just trying not to sleep. So that's good. So 13 gerbils. Gerbils or hamsters?
Guinea pigs?
Guinea pigs. That's better than
All
both of those.
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Are you milking the guinea pig? Is this like how? What are we doing with the
No,
guinea
they're
pigs?
just cute. I have a guinea pig named Chester. I don't know why I mentioned them. It's just my plan because they're
No,
they're
this
so
is a good plan.
cute.
I like your plan. I'm just trying to figure out. So the guinea pigs protect your property.
They don't do anything. I just take care of them and they stay there and they squeak.
They squeak.
They communicate, kind of. It's nice.
In this
They
moment, I'm
squeak and
realizing
they
that
let
your
you pick
plan.
'em up.
What's that?
They squeak and they let you pick them up.
Yeah.
And it's heavenly to pick them up. And when you look at them really close, they got really cool lips.
Yeah, they have
They're
soft
pretty
lips.
freaking awesome looking. Kind of creepy, but like in a really awesome, cute way. Creepy
This
cute.
plan is better than what my life goals have been. And I'm gonna when this is over, I'm gonna rewatch this video because I've been doing everything wrong at this point.
You have to reevaluate your whole
I have to
life.
reevaluate a lot of things. My wife and I are gonna have to sit down and really remap out how we're doing stuff because we don't even have a single rodent here.
Wow. That's terrible.
I know.
So
have a
I've
hamster.
clearly
And a guinea pig.
Yeah.
I couldn't
like
tell you the
7.
difference between a hamster. A guinea pig's bigger than a hamster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're fat.
they're more interactive, way more interactive than hamsters are.
But they don't run on the wheel.
They do not run on wheels.
No, they can't do that. They can't jump either.
They can't jump.
Really, it's kind of
They're like
sad.
they're an evolutionary dead end. They're
I was gonna say they
Yeah.
sound like
they are a human. Well, I don't know. They're the version we have are a human creation, and they wouldn't do well out in the wild. And when they scurry, oh, they're so cute when they scurry.
Yeah.
But it's not very practical. It's
No.
great if they have like a nice cedar bed thingy, but not on the rough terrain.
Have you considered a capybara?
The capybaras are great. They're like off-road vehicles, and the guinea pigs are not off-road vehicles. They're not even on-road vehicles. They're not even.
Just say they don't- They're not doing much on or off road.
No. Traveling is not a thing. Not with these guys.
Jacob LaBelle
Okay.
says, "What's up, Bug and
Hey,
Paul?"
Jacob, how you doing?
Jacob LaBelle.
David, Mr. Bond.
Jacob LaBelle, thank you for joining us.
I can't see the comp.
No.
You gotta go to the muddied waters of
I'm
freedom.
there. There. So do you have
And
any
an
more
alternate
last-
thing you can do is go to my profile and see where I've shared it, and then click on that. But then turn off the volume, or you're gonna hear yourself twice. You're gonna hear yourself as you're talking.
Dude, I've done this before.
What you do is
So
you
do you have any
go to
last-
facebook.com,
Oh my
and then
god.
you log in with your email address and password.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
You're gonna run this out. This is gonna become the show now. The show has now become a tech support channel.
Yes, this show is the goal for this show has always been to help people to access their social media.
And,
the
give us
problem
social
is that
security.
they have to already be on it to hear this, which has been the fatal flaw in my plan all along. And so now that I'm hearing guinea pigs,
Now you're
This show-
like, why am I even doing this show?
why
This show doesn't take me closer.
why
to
are we
guinea pig.
even live at this point?
I mean,
Next
I'm
week-
actually asking myself that.
Next
why am
week,
I not
why
building
are any of
guinea
us doing any of this?
Right. Dude, let's buy cedar chips now.
Next
Just
week
in case.
is just going to be
Freaking guinea pig
a
central.
tub? Is that what the guinea pig? Would you say a tub? A crate?
No. No.
It's
Pen?
coroplast and like
She
cubes. I
has-
built the cage.
Her guy Chester, he
It's
has
really
a
big.
he doesn't have a cage. Okay, it's like a fenced in area on
Yeah.
the floor that is about 3 feet or 4 feet
Yeah.
long by about 2.5 feet wide.
I can make that
He
fit
has
here.
quite a
So,
run.
and then that way I won't slam my head into this anymore. But from now on, this show.
No, I really insist you keep slamming your head. That is the best part of the show.
Okay, I'll do that
No
off
one's
camera
gonna
though.
follow.
So the
No,
next,
on camera would be better.
well then I'll have to have two cameras because this one is going to be fixated on a 2.5 by 3. You said
If you could just figure out
coroplast filled with cedar chips and my minimum of a baker's dozen of guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
So this-
yeah, well, yeah. So Baker's dozen, yes.
And this
They
show will
can't
be
all
called-
fit in the
Right.
cage though. You
Up
need
here it'll
multiple.
say let me get my right
You-
right there. It'll say my fellow guinea pigs, right there.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That would be pretty boss.
Yeah.
Do you have any last questions for the daughter? Because I think she's.
I have many questions. This is actually just the beginning of this. So
Oh yes, good. Get it. I want you to expose everything, because I'm tired of protecting her.
oh, is that what we're, is that what we're doing? on this
Yes.
show? Okay, perfect. Nela,
Where's
what is
Dr.
your-
Phil?
Okay, this is Dr. Phil.
Oh no.
What,
No
Nela?
wonder
What do you want to
you're-
say to your father? What do you want to say to your father?
Okay, forget it. We're not on Dr. Phil. I don't want to hear
No, that's too much controversy.
What would you like to say? What would you like to say to your father?
thing. He
Okay.
can just exist.
Okay, well,
I can exist. That's an improvement.
this is incremental. So your father can exist.
Hmm.
That's good because what is it that you want? This is my guinea pig. It's a 75-pound pit bull. No, please go away. No, I need you to go away. Those are my grapes. Those are my grapes. So,
I let that pass right by. You saw I did that, right?
what's that? My dog trying to get my grapes?
When you said those are my grapes, I let that float by.
Thank you very much for doing that. This is a family friendly show. This is a family show. And speaking of family, Paul, what do you want to say to Nela?
I've been waiting for this moment. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And
I don't need help.
and I'm just saying,
You need help.
well, maybe, but still, don't be. I'm here for you, and don't be afraid. There's stuff I know things. Don't be afraid to
You're not
learn
gonna say
from
you're proud of me.
Papa.
You're proud of the
I
decision
know, really.
I
This.
made.
Oh no, I thought. Oh, okay.
You want any help?
I thought this was Dr. Phil. Like,
Would you like some help?
That's like that. Dr. Phil doesn't want that. That's not Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil
isn't
wants
this is Dr. Spike.
controversy. Oh, Dr. Spike?
I'm an actual doctor.
You are?
Mhm.
Doctor of what? Memes?
So I'm a
Meme?
yeah. I'm a meme doctor.
Well, yeah.
I have a Juris Doctor in memes. Memery.
A Juris Doctrines? Is that
Juris?
Do you have a Juris Doctrines territory that you like is assigned to you as a meme doctor?
Yes,
Does it work like
I sat the meme bar, and
what's the meme district that you serve in?
I serve the 48th meme district.
Oh yes, good district, good district.
It's
That's where
it's the largest district. It's kind of gerrymandered, but I like it.
The frog died there.
It's an incredibly gerrymandered
sad.
district, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you love your daughter.
Oh, the thing is, do I ever tell you those things, Nela?
Yeah.
How often?
Often enough.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I tell because, like I said earlier, I was talking about how she organized things. It's like, in a way, it's kind of frustrating. Okay, she's not a perfect kid. I don't want to get that. There's all kinds of issues with her, but none of them are major. Like, they're minor. She's got no major issues that I can really talk about.
Let's talk about the issues.
Let me talk about. No, I'm just kidding. There are no major issues. I'm just kidding. But she's like, you ever see this? I've seen it before. The show, movie, or something where a parent gets a perfect kid and like it's so boring.
Yes,
because the parent doesn't get to do a lot because the kid just got it covered. That's her. Although she's not, but I mean, when it comes to the homeschooling stuff, it's like hey, you're gonna need help with your you got that. Oh, actually, you did it better than I would have anyway. So
what I'm hearing is you want more crisis.
I want her to fail more so that I can rescue her. I mean, Nela, I don't think that's too much to ask, is it?
Have you considered failing more, Nela?
What?
Have you considered failing more often for your father?
No, I'm good.
If you were going to fail more, what do you think of the ways that you might do that?
I don't know.
See, now I know what you're saying, Paul. I get it, because she doesn't want to even fail on the show.
Right.
Where is the conflict, Nela? You have to have a climax of conflict so that you can have the denouement.
Right. I was going to say.
Oh, I know that word.
Denouement.
I use it often,
Of course you know the word denouement.
Of course I know.
There's nothing we can tell you.
Right.
You know all of the things here, and that's the problem. That's what we're trying to tell you. A perfect example of conflict is if I had said the denouement, you went, the what?
Yeah.
That's how you should have said it.
Who's going to tell her? That's conflict. Now look at us. Sad. So, okay, cool. So you play the bassoon? Is that a woodwind?
Yeah, I play the bassoon and clarinet. I used to play at my school in the
cool.
orchestra and the band.
Oh, you were in like the orchestra?
Yeah, and
And the
jazz
band, and
band,
jazz
and
band.
everything basically. But
and
you know,
chorus.
That's awesome. I can
Yeah, she's
I can hit a drum with a stick. So
that's
we got
good.
that. We got that in common. We're both musical geniuses.
I got to the rhythm part. It's just he
Dun,
just
dun, dun,
managed
dun.
to hit the drum with the stick.
But bum 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 bum.
With the stick, and he's not even there. It's just boom. All right, I did it. So,
Yeah, no, there's no rhythm to it at all. I literally just am, like I've now done this. You can now do the rest of your things.
what, once every random second you hear a boom. Oh, that's Spike. He's quote unquote. He's jamming.
I am. It's freestyle. I'm freestyling. It's a freestyle jamming. I'm a big
Sometimes
hit.
those seconds are 2 minutes.
I have won so many open mic participation trophies. Tyre, you can't see from where I am, but from where but behind me is just a sheer number of thank you for participating plaques that I got from various open mics. Really, I take their bass drum and I hit it.
He's a good man, Charlie Brown.
I do what I can. So Nela, what if you have parting words, mostly for your father? What would you like to say to him?
Nothing. What do you mean? Like he's dying or what?
No, he's not dying. Well, I don't. I assume not. I assume he's not dying.
We're all dying. We're all dying.
Yeah, sure. We still.
So then, the final thing you want to say on this show is that we're all dying.
Sure. We could be dying. You don't know.
Oh, we are. Yeah, we're dying.
You don't know who's poisoning us.
You're always one day closer to death.
Yeah.
Careful.
Mhm.
This is look, homeschool child.
Shut up.
Nela, what do you want to tell us about the homeschooling method? We're all dying. You don't know who could be poisoning us.
Yeah, you got nothing to
Yeah.
lose.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. You know, they put stuff in the water that does things to the frogs, and I, for one, am against it.
Alex Jones was right about that, though.
He was actually right about that. Of
Actually
all the
was
things he
right
said,
about
that one was true.
That one he was right about. Right.
If you ever
That
knew
was
how
the
lady
right
frogs
thing.
were made, it's from whatever
Chemicals
the
in the
Alex
water.
joins.
Yeah. Well, you
That's-
have to get his water purification, whatever thingy.
I just
water.
drink a lot of. I chug super male vitality.
I take a lot of suppositories from the Alex Jones show. It helps. Let's get me through the day. I tell you that. What?
Keeps your frogs
You know what? I could have wrote
straight as an
I
arrow.
could have wrote that in so many ways, but I didn't know.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you didn't take your talk about suppositories in a weird way.
Okay.
Good. Well, guys, so Nela, I know if you want to stay on, that'll be great, or you can scamper off. I guess the kids do. Whichever you want to do, and
Do
I'm
I
gonna.
understand what you're talking about?
We don't really understand what we're talking about, so that's not
We're gonna be talking about social media,
social media.
de-personing, and all the stuff that's going on with social media sites being more
So-
politically active. I'll say
The T.
the T.
The T.
That is the T.
The T.
I'll stay.
Okay, so she's gonna stay. She'll just every once in a while she may suddenly have a thought and be like, "Hey, monkeys."
We'll be talking, and then she's
Holy
like,
crap,
"We're all
you're
gonna die. We are
Right,
all
well,
going to die."
You know what? You know what she can do? I tell you what. If we look like we're having a really good time, like really, really good time, that's when you grab the mic and say, "We're all gonna die."
We're
And I'm
all
like,
gonna die.
Let me
There are
just
things in our water.
rain it down here.
It's
with the
not
hat.
good stuff in our water, and they're gonna kill us.
It's really not healthy of me to be happy.
Which is good because it lets us stay joyful and carefree, and you hold all that angst in, so that
Yes.
when it needs
And then
that,
you bring us down right at the right moment. Like
this
when
is
we're
the
at
conflict. You're gonna provide the climax of conflict. It's like,
You're welcome.
I think that's a great point, but we're all going to die. But not yet. That's the denouement. The denouement is, but not yet. We're not gonna die yet.
I mean, tomorrow, yes. Okay,
Yeah, but not
I won't
yet.
say
But
that.
not yet. We're
But
gonna
not
die
yet.
So
But
guys,
not yet.
Guys, if you are listening to this insanity and would like to join in with your thoughts, feel free to call us at 813-644-2722. It's right there.
Eight,
It's right.
813-644-2722.
I'm gonna record you doing that later for future reference.
You know what? I was gonna try to do the IT crowd. Do you remember that episode? Did you watch the IT crowd?
I didn't.
Eight one three 644-2722. But it was like a whole bunch of numbers, and then you're like blah 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 41 or something. At the is they were changing their 411 or their whatever their version of the 911 number. It was I went a long way for that joke.
Yeah, you went too long.
No,
I
that's
have
fine.
failed.
This is what we do
It
on
was
this show.
doing good there at first, and then
Who was gonna
Spike's blank stare just
Yeah,
killed the
yeah.
mood.
Well,
I
I'm
think
trying to
this
make
is-
sure that I'm pointing out this number correctly. 813.
813-644-2722.
I'm gonna work on
That's
that. If you're not in the United States, use the international code +1. +1. So, guys, let's talk social media. You get onto social media by typing facebook.com and then you enter your email address and password.
It's a simple thing. You've done it, right?
Yeah.
She has a social media Facebook account.
Oh. Do you have 7 of them like your father does?
No, but I have a lot of Instagrams. One for my pets, one for myself, one for my spam account for my friends, you know?
See, that's
She
what
uses-
the kids are doing the IG now. They're not doing the Facebook.
Yeah.
She uses Facebook primarily to keep in. I did basically family, right?
Yeah.
That's primarily.
Yeah.
She's not a Facebookian.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like I'm like the old people with my Facebook. People are like, "What's your Snapchat?" I'm like, "No, I'm on Facebook."
Isn't
then they
Snapchat dying or something?
Snapchat is dying. I barely
no.
use it.
Here, let's talk about. You know way more about Snapchat than. What do you mean by Snapchat's dying?
No one uses it anymore. Like people are starting to use Instagram stories now. And it's just do you want me to hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's best if you
Make
hold it.
sure, yeah,
Oh, okay.
and get closer. There you go. Wait, this is teaching hospital.
Do you see how I'm like really close to my microphone?
Yeah, but it's yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
fine. Right
so
there.
this is.
Right there. You don't want to be as close as him. That's,
Yeah.
That's probably that's a Me Too moment, probably with that microphone.
No, this is my microphone, so I can.
Oh, really?
okay if it's yours.
So I see. So you've taken possession. I see. All right.
Yeah, no, this. It consented at birth
That doesn't sound microphonist at all.
to this situation.
That
Microphones
doesn't
aren't
sound
people, Paul.
microphonist at all. You know what this is? This is cognitive supremacism. This is favoring cognitive entities over non-cognitive entities.
Relationships with microphones are against God, Paul. Okay? They're unnatural, and
That is true, though.
frankly.
I think that's a little bit bigoted of you, but okay.
Oh, you know
respect
what?
your-
You know what? If
bigoted.
upholding the whole human thing is bigoted, then so be it. Okay?
Okay.
Not on this
All
show.
right.
Not on this show is not a, this show is about family values.
Someday your opinions will be used against you in the court of law.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
That's already true. Even now, not this one, but other ones are also actionable but in many states. What? And these are still my grapes.
They are. I think he's. I think it's the.
These will never be your grapes. Yeah, no, they're mine. Social media. No, no. Here, okay, fine. You can have this grape. Good, go away now.
The people who are listening to the audio version are going to be confused.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. Thank you for those of you listening on SoundCloud. Thank you. Thank you for enjoying this. I enjoy it.
He was petting his dog with his
Aw.
grapes. We're just going to keep going.
We're gonna go right past that.
Right.
We're gonna go right past that. Okay, good. So, social media. We now know that Snapchat is dying, but it gets worse than that, guys, because an increasing number of people who have our types of opinions, libertarian-y, anarchist-y, really any kind of outside of the acceptable, allowable opinion are being purged from social media, from Facebook, from Twitter, from Instagram, from YouTube, from all of those things. And Paul, I think you have the answer. Tell us the answer right now, Paul.
The answer, I don't even know the question. You just made a statement. You gotta at least ask a question. Please ask the question.
Okay, let me add the lilt at the end of the last one.
Okay,
They're
yeah,
being
do that.
purged from social media.
That makes it a question. That's
Makes it a question. I added a question mark.
That is a question.
Now it's a question.
And the answer is yes. They're being-
is that happening, Paul?
What's your point?
Tell me if that's happening. Okay, good. I like
no.
this setup. Can I just say, I want to say how much I like this setup, because now it looks like I'm looking at my guest.
That's nice. Also, it kind of looks like the Last Supper-ish kind of like vibe is starting. We all kind of look like we're wearing kind of, plain kind of Last Supper-ish kind
So
of
do
stuff.
I get to be the one that is actually his wife? In the Da Vinci Code, I think it is. That it's actually his wife, and it's they make it where that she's
You get to
turning
be
away.
Mary Magdalene? Is that who he says is the wife?
I think so, but in reality, the actual original version, she's like up against Jesus. But then in the version that they make, when they switch her around to make her look like Paul, I guess Paul, she's like this.
This is not what I signed up for. This was not.
No one signed up for this.
This is not what we agreed to talk about. I just want to say this is highly inappropriate, man.
Well,
so I do have an answer to your question, though.
Why is this happening? So, my question.
I do have an answer to your question. Oh no, okay, your question. You actually have.
No. What's your? No, I did ask you a question.
No, I do not. Nope. Ask your question. Go ahead.
No, I'm waiting for the previous answer.
No. Ask your question. Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, so, do you think that's happening, Paul? No. So
no. I think that there may be some degree of truth to it. I also think that it just so happens that anarchist type folks, and I totally understand this, but well, I won't say we. I don't want to speak for everybody. I don't want to be attacked by anarchists in the middle of the night because I said we on a show somewhere. Collectivist. But anyway, generally speaking, anarchists, they tend to eschew the public face. They tend to favor anonymity for a lot of good reasons, I think.
Right.
So
right.
The systems don't want anonymity. So I don't think they're intentionally targeting anarchists. I think that anarchists naturally are doing things that they want to get rid of, which, like in the case of, I think the anonymity thing is really, they don't want people on their sites unless the government can figure out where they are and who they are. That's really, I think, is what primarily is going. I don't think that they really are looking at the anarchists and thinking, dude, everybody remain calm, but the anarchists are about to take over. We have to do everything to stop them. The Free Thought Project is in the basement of the White House and it's about to take over. We have to stop them. If we get them off of Facebook, the threat will end. I don't think that's what's happening.
So then you're anarchist victim blaming, basically.
Nope. I totally understand the frustration of the anarchists, especially the ones that in one way, shape, or form have derived a living creating content. I mean, I've done that too, so I can totally relate to that. And but at the same hand, there's a balance thing. I don't want to come out and like, oh, you stupid anarchist, you should have like. And I'm not calling anybody stupid, but 3 years ago, we all knew that Facebook's days were numbered as far as effective marketing. It is harder and harder to. I mean, I used Facebook effectively for years, and right. I saw like, yeah, this isn't this. I knew. Now I've had some issues this last year. My health really totally screwed up my plan, but I was working on a plan that was. It was going away from Facebook. I'm still going to use Facebook, but I knew immediately, like, dude, way before this, if you're relying on Facebook, you're in trouble. If you're relying on YouTube, you're in trouble. You have to
right.
burst flows, and So some of that they're to blame for that, and we, generally anarchists, they uphold the self ownership. Face yourself. That's another way you can say self ownership in some capacity. But
Ooh, face yourself.
yeah, face yourself.
Look in the mirror.
I'm not saying that you don't have a legitimate reason to be upset, and I totally empathize with you. And you guys, some of these folks have done great work that's now hampered. They got to figure out different ways, and honestly, they're not going to probably get the same reach that they once had, and that's an issue. But still, it's like not a surprise. And it's not a surprise that people who love anonymity are finding it harder and harder to be on the platforms because the
So do you
platforms
think?
don't want anonymity.
So my whole argument has been, and I tend to agree with that. I think it's
I want to. Nela, did you have anything like that?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
we're all gonna die. So
No.
say it. Say it that we're gonna
all
die.
gonna die.
Thank you.
There you go.
And
There
so
you go.
that was beautiful. So yeah, so I think it's kind of a mix of things. I mean, we see how like the Atlantic Council is involved in, and there's pressure on Facebook and different social media to, clamp down on certain anti-establishment opinion and things like that, and not just anarchy, but like even people that aren't into the mainstream political parties and things like that.
There's a lot of leftists that got lopped off too. By the
No,
way.
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's not. That's what I
That's
mean.
another story that's not being told by the right.
Well, of course not. And then you have the left saying, the right Nazis are being left alone, but it's not. It's really anything outside of the, Democrat, Republican, mindset is being kind of, lopped off. That's happening. But again, like you said, the other thing that's happening is they're kind of purging fake accounts, which I can tell you firsthand that I'm having to deal with some other accounts that I'm trying to keep around. So I that is happening. They're trying to make Facebook an actual like how it was originally supposed to be, where it's pretty much
Family and friends authentically connecting.
Yeah, well, I mean, initially it was just for college students, and it was essentially a large school yearbook for all the different schools. And so they're trying to go back to this, like, if you have an account, it's because you're an actual person, and this is your name, and this is where you live, and this is a picture of your pet and your wife, who you are also connected to, and she's on there, and you guys are talking back and forth. So I mean, it's like there's no anonymity, there's no pretend accounts or anything like that. So I kind of get that that's what they're doing. What's that?
No mention of the 13 guinea pigs in that scenario, so it was a little disturbing. I thought we've established that 13 guinea pigs is now part of the American dream, and you were describing the American dream and kind of let that part out.
Facebook hates the American dream.
That's true. So maybe it's mentioned because we probably get flagged.
I think probably the easiest way to get banned from Facebook is to demonstrate how many guinea pigs you have. Is that they'll say, no, that's way too much happiness.
That's a dog whistle. That's a dog whistle.
That's a dog whistle.
No, it's literally a dog whistle. Yeah, that's a dog. Yeah, that dog whistle is a dog whistle. Oh, dude. Oh, my gosh. I need that meme. I don't have it perfect in my head. Spike, you can do this. You think about this. The dog whistle is a dog whistle. Figure it out. Make it work.
There's an actual whistle for dogs. I had made a racist dog whistle that it was this woman blowing a whistle and the dog's there, and out of the whistle it said, Jews did 9/11.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, that was my dog whistle. So, okay, so what do you think? So, obviously there's a huge debate. People are saying things like, you've got people saying we need the government to step in and stop them from censoring us, while simultaneously saying that it's the government that's getting them to censor us in the first place. So clearly we need to bring them in even more to stop them from doing the thing that they're telling them to do. That's on one side. And then you have people going, no, these are private companies, and private companies can choose to associate with whomever they wish. And I don't think really either of them are right, because A, you're not going to get any help from government, and B, it's hard at this point to call Facebook a truly private company, right? Like, I mean, the amount that they're enmeshed with the state at this point.
How do I word this? I believe, I don't speak in definites, and I don't have nearly enough knowledge to say this definitively at all anyway, but my strong suspicion is any entity that becomes a major part of the national economy, if it isn't playing ball with the actual owners and managers of that economy, which is a
Right.
state economy,
Right.
which is owned by the owners, whoever those owners and managers are, you don't know their names. I don't know their names. Um, yeah, they have to, otherwise they wouldn't exist, or they wouldn't exist for long. I mean, they and Facebook is whenever you see companies that are that big, that are that major part of the economy, and if you look and see that they've got government, some sort of government relationships of any kind, they've been approved.
Right.
And
Right.
and again, this is just Paul theory. I'm not, I don't have no proof. I don't have the documents, but I strongly suspect it. So I view, I'm just calling it the corpo state. It's all it is. They're one and the same. I was talking to, maybe it was you, Neil. I was talking about the whoever these owners and managers are.
I think I was just talking to you.
What she remembered. Whoever these owners and managers are, they have friends and families and allies, and they all own businesses, and those businesses are Facebook, Google, and they're on the boards, and it's all. It's all. I mean, it's not a big happy family. It's not a happy family because you got a bunch of hard charging, power mad. I almost said a bad word, but I stopped myself.
Jerk
That are
faces.
they're not necessarily going to be, there are inner tables and outer tables and the kids' tables and the captain's tables, and everybody wants to be on the captain's table. So there's fights to be on the captain's table, and when there's fights, depending on how bad the fights are behind the scenes, then that's what ripples out on the other side. Now, I think the other side can also influence the internal. It works both ways, but I think in large part that that's what we're seeing right now is the turmoil from within. That's mostly, I believe, what we're seeing right now. Because honestly, in terms of the wealth and the prosperity and the opportunity for the overwhelming majority of people, and no, I'm not endorsing the United States of America. I'm just saying the 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 reality doesn't make sense. Why people would be so disgruntled? Why people would be so like ready to, usually you're not that ready to go at each other's throats until it comes time for that last potato. We're not near the last potato, but people are trying to tell us the last potato is like tomorrow. But
Yeah, there's a
so
lot of fear
so
mongering.
so
Yeah.
I feel like most of the anger that people have, most of the hate is mostly, it's being manufactured. That we're all being, yeah. I don't know if that was a short answer. I'm sure, right? My
Yeah,
mic,
no, I get that was
Neela?
the shortest.
That was
That
pretty
was
short for you.
Yeah.
that was really short. I'm still waiting for more answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
like what do
okay.
you really think, Paul?
I think that I think the answer is that you just got to build your own stuff. And do we, everybody's looking at social media like it's the only way that we can get things done. Maybe
Right.
there's other ways that people can effectively communicate. Do we really need to communicate with everybody? Wouldn't we? Maybe it's time for anarchists, whatever, off grid, off of social media, like connect in other ways, and encrypted ways, and flesh ways, so to speak, face to face, and actually, help one another remove your dependency on the systems that rely on coercion for their existence.
So you mean not just off of social media, you mean like offline.
Yeah,
So I have to
absolutely.
like meet people.
Yeah, meet people, and but even, even like the encrypted networks. I mean, not. I don't know how you use Signal. That Signal is, I guess, more people think that's probably more encrypted than Telegram, but there's just a few, but there's all kinds of, like, the Signal, Telegram. Those are ways to effectively communicate with, like, just a few people.
Right,
You're
right.
not you're talking to a group of people that these are your buddies, your friends, the ones that are that I mean, when I buy stuff that I need, if I know someone who's an anarchist that sells, I'm going to them first. I mean, that's
Right.
always the case. It's stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I think that we're putting too much stake into the importance of social media, and
S- So
I
then
think, and I'm going
so
to add.
then
Can I say one last
yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
And I think that there are ways to actually continue to get out these messages of liberty, uh, within the parameters of what these folks want. Like you can be corpo state friendly and still get your liberty message out. You can do it. It can happen.
So then you want me to stop emailing President Trump and asking him to take over Facebook
I
and to
want you
let
to
the anarchists back
start.
in?
I want you to start emailing him because I know you haven't, and I've asked you many times. And I have friends, and I know you haven't sent anything out. I
You have
just checked.
friends at the White
Hold
House
on.
email board.
Nope. I just checked. Nothing. Sorry.
So I'm going to write pres.trump at whitehouse.gov when we get off this
Right.
line. And I'm going to say, hey, look,
Hashtag hate the orange man or orange man hate or whatever that is.
Orange Man
Hashtag.
bad. Orange
Yeah,
Man
orange man
bad.
bad. Yeah. Hashtag orange man bad.
Orange Man bad. I'm going to say, dear
Hashtag.
Orange Man, literal Hitler, please
Oh,
let me and my friends back on Instagram. Love, Spike Cohen. That'll work, right?
Do you want to tell Spike about your video about the orange man?
No, that's so stupid. That is the stupidest video I've ever made.
If it's stupid, I definitely want to hear about it.
Yeah, tell him.
It's so old. I was like 8. It's stupid.
You weren't 8.
So,
I do have a YouTube channel though.
well, we're gonna plug your YouTube channel. We'll get that later, and we'll put it on the
Okay,
the show
I'm gonna
notes.
tell you the video. The video was of the orange man. Orange man hailed Donnie, and it was she was offering a sacrifice to the orange man in the form of was it candles?
Candles.
She stuck candles in.
Wait, I think
into
I've
an
I think, I
orange.
think you've shared this video.
I
And
think
I
I
saw
have.
it.
It's
Yeah.
it's a wonderful commentary in so many ways. Probably ways that she doesn't even understand.
I was gonna say
Because
she was.
She's got a lot of layers to it. She thinks that's
There's
just she
layers.
doesn't understand. You know what I'm saying, Spike? You've seen it. You know some of her videos. There's like layers going on. I don't
There were
think she even
layers. There's a lot to
understands.
unpack. I usually bookmark the parts that I have to go back to. So
Yeah,
you were
I started the book club.
5 years ago, I guess, saying what was gonna happen
No.
What are you talking about?
with the Orange Man video.
No,
she
no,
was
no.
saying,
She wasn't. She wasn't eight.
Wasn't
I said
Oh.
she was.
You didn't
Yeah.
say that because like.
She's like she wasn't saying she was
so
8.
good.
Let me translate that. Say it again.
What do you mean?
Say I was like 8 years old. Hold on.
I was like 8 years old.
Translation. I am so embarrassed. I need people to think that I am
Yeah.
as young as they possibly can think I am.
Yeah, because it was
Because
stupid.
that video was so stupid. But she's wrong. That
I
video was
think
brilliant. It was
Yeah,
it
that
was
video was
dead
not
on
stupid.
political commentary.
I watched
It's
that video
dead
right
on.
before we went
It's
live
brilliant.
to brush up on it. So you were saying that we need to make sacrifices to the Orange Man.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Just want to make sure that you're one of us. Actually, we're not Trump supporters, so I hope
No, if someone's tuning into the show,
yeah, this is not for Trump supporterville.
I hope that we're conveying that we're not Trump.
I don't hate any of you, but well, I may hate some of you individually if I got to know you. I'm sure.
I
but
hate a lot of people actually. I used to say I don't hate anyone, but
I don't hate people. I guess I would say from the core of the depth of every part of my body, I wish that they would die in a painful process that lasted, say, 17 days that I could videotape and send to their wife and their children. I mean, but that's not hatred. That's
No.
just,
Well, we're all gonna die.
I'm just catharting. That's
didn't-
catharting. That's what that
I
is.
didn't know this until I'm trying to get better at pointing, but until your daughter told me
Be an effective pointer when you grow up.
that we're all gonna die, and ow,
Nice.
I might die now
See?
if I keep hitting that thing.
Dude, we just got a spike. We went from 1 to 3 viewers after you hit your
Yeah.
head. Just saying. Hit it again. See if we go to 5.
Get 1 million viewers now.
Dude, you did it too. You did just in case. You never knew. I mean,
Never know.
honestly, if it went from 3 to 5, I'd have been banging my head on something.
So one of the things that
Who's this
what I
for,
would
Neil
say
or Paul?
was that.
Is this for Neil or Paul? Or is this an open question?
Oh no, I have a
This
question. for you.
question is
No. This is gonna be a real question, and
Oh,
I'll let
okay.
you know when it ends. So one of the things I kept telling people was, well, if they kick you off Facebook, you make your own social media platform, which is true. or encrypted platform or whatever. But then so there's this Gab, which I'd only heard of it a little bit. I didn't know a lot about it, but basically it's a social media platform. It's similar to Twitter, but they say they allow all opinions. Like they don't block anything. You can say whatever you want on there. They don't care. And the guy that shot up the synagogue last week, Robert Bowers, he was using the Gab platform, and as a result of that, ironically, at a time when Gab was cooperating with law enforcement and letting them look at all of his old, I don't know, tweets or whatever, his old things that he posted on there, the host that he was with, I think GoDaddy, shut them down and said, we're not going to allow hate speech. And Gab is saying that they're now going to go live.
Why were they still with GoDaddy at this point?
That's what I was, when they said, and I may be wrong.
You gotta know, the GoDaddy is, I hope you're wrong, because GoDaddy's like, you gotta know, man, if you're hosting on GoDaddy and you are any kind of anything, you might not want to.
You're not going to, as soon as you get popular, you're not going to be on there, right?
GoDaddy is most assuredly part of the corporate estate, okay?
Right. So whatever they, I remember them saying something about GoDaddy, but I'm not 100% sure. But wherever they were hosted with, that they were using, that. So now they're looking for a new host or whatever. So I guess now that means we have to get our own I mean, so really, if you're truly saying like, we need to do our own thing so that we can't get deplatformed on these things, you're saying from the top down, right, or from the bottom up, however you want to look at that. Your own servers, your own, hardware and all of that stuff, so that you're relying as little on the grid, quote unquote, as possible. Yes.
Yeah, yes, that's the general idea. Not that you're disconnecting. You still want to, as much as, like I said, I think you can still put content out there that is not going to trigger them, that is not going to get you kicked off their platforms. But off platform, you're doing other things, and all law-abiding citizen stuff, of course, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a law-abiding show.
Yeah, we don't ever talk about breaking the law on the show ever.
We never do that, and if we ever do, it's parody, it's satire,
it's irony.
It's fun.
We're creating a conflict climax so we can have the denouement.
But yeah, I think, I mean, I'm not saying that what's going on with social media is good. I'm not for any of this. This is terrible. It's definitely not. Doesn't work in my favor. But then again, maybe it will. I remember I've had a conversation. Jacob LaBelle, I think. Was it you or somebody else? We're talking about, what if Hillary had won? Like, would that have really been better or worse than Trump? Certainly, if if you have any kind of anything close to Hispanic anything, I would be like really pissed off if I was you. Sorry, Nela. But with the whole immigration and scary crap that's going on, if you're in the wrong place, the wrong time, stuff can happen. And it's, I mean, and don't even know, there's some white people that get caught up into it too, but it's disproportionately not affecting white people. So I understand, right, if you're in a group that you feel like Donald Trump is directly going to threaten you, I understand how, yes, Donald Trump has already been worse than Hillary for you.
Right.
Now for me, he doesn't threaten me, and it's not, it's just, it doesn't mean that it's okay he threatens somebody else more than me, but Hillary, if she had won, she might have made some moves that might have pushed people to take some actions a lot sooner. I don't know if necessarily violence or just, disentangling faster, or if you would have seen states that would have challenged fundamentally, because she would have went after guns big time. She would have went, I'm sure she would have went into the hate speech stuff, and she would have secured Obamacare more. I mean, she would have tried to move pretty quickly, and they would have done anything to cram that stuff through there. And if she had crammed just a little bit of that stuff through there, maybe, like now people are like one group is totally pissed off and one group is totally complacent. And
that's what I was gonna say, that what she would do would be less different than how people would react to it, because I think largely she would have done the same things that we're seeing now. It's just the group right now that's like, yay, America's being great again, it would be really upset, and the group that's really upset would be explaining why it's good.
Well, I don't think that she would have dramatically cut regulations like Trump has done. Now, just Trump has cut a lot of regulations. Of course, that's the thing I'd like to know is what regulations did you cut? I bet you the regulations that you cut overwhelmingly favored the big guys, but still, there is some trickle down, I guess you can say. So I think that he has done some stuff that she wouldn't have done. I think the economy would probably be much worse if she would have come in office, and she would have just added more regulations and slowed down the economy even more. I don't know. I think the economy would not have been good with her. And even now, I'm not saying the economy is really good. I'm just saying the smoke and mirrors. Trump did better smoke and mirrors than Hillary would have. That's what I'm basically saying. Okay. So, I mean, what if? I don't know. I don't know that it might not be better that social media sites are cracking down because it's forcing people to take alternative action, and they will.
That's true.
I really believe that you're going to see solutions. Michael Dean of Freedom Fiend, sometimes a long time, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, he said this, and I kind of agree with him as soon as I heard it. He was trying to create some sort of like a DNS server for anarchists that would protect them. Because you even talk about that, your DNS server can decide that you violated their terms of service too, so you can lose your whole
Right,
domain.
exactly. And you lose everything that they have on there. Yeah.
So if you don't have if those things are controlled only by the corpo state, then ultimately, I'm not saying you don't use that network, but ultimately that's a network that you should not be relying on, and you should be building these mesh networks and on using encrypted different apps and whatever. But I don't think it's the end of the world that we're going to be seeing social media crack down. And not only that, you were talking about you want to start your own social media site. Well, the regulation's coming, brother. I'm telling you, it is not going to be stopped. Regulation is coming, and regulation is going to drive the cost up for anyone else that wants to start a social media site. Because that's
absolutely.
what happens.
Yeah,
What happens in
Go ahead.
Well,
No,
what
you
happens
go
in a
ahead.
market? You have a breakthrough technology. The government can't get a hold of it, and the Pareto principle kicks in, and a few people are able to succeed, and they're able to consolidate power, so to speak, and they get to a certain powerful level, and then they have to decide, are they cooperating with the government, because that's going to happen. As you get more power, you're going to butt up against. You're going to get that call eventually. Yo, we need to talk, and then you decide if you want to talk. Go ahead. You're pointing at me like you need me.
No, and then we all die.
Oh, and then we all die.
We say that's then and
then we all die.
And then we all die. So
We all die.
we all die.
Right.
Right. Exactly. So then we all die.
So after that, then what happens is that now you're the corpo state. If you're not the corpo state, you're probably not going to be protected. You won't last long. But the corpo state, what happens is now that the government has a beat on the regulations, now the people, the successful companies, the Pareto principle, the 20-80, whatever, those are the companies that they're invited into the regulatory. They're the ones that write the regulations. When they write the regulations, to shut the door behind them.
Which is why when people are so quick to be like, we need to make them stop Facebook. It's like you're just pushing along, entrenching Facebook as the only thing that you're going to even be allowed as an option, or Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter or whatever as the only real viable options. They're going to raise the barrier to entry so high that no one else can come in.
Exactly.
So don't do that.
And that's what they've done with, and that's why I know. You're like, I was talking about this the other day about the Civil Rights Act and how the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is racist. It's a white supremacist law.
Yeah, very much so.
What it did was it didn't fundamentally change the reality of power for black people at all. It gave some lip service to it, but did it curb the laws that were preventing black people from owning guns and being able to protect themselves? Nope, didn't do that.
Nope.
Did it curb the laws that prevented black communities from starting their own banks? Didn't do that.
No, just the opposite. It actually made it harder for them to voluntarily associate within themselves, and it sort of forced them into association with the more dominant group, demographic group. Yeah.
it basically, you had these strong black communities, and they were broken up, and they sent blacks to all these different white schools where suddenly they're outnumbered and they're in white culture, and
Yep.
they destroyed I saw a documentary some time ago about what the Civil Rights Act did to the black colleges, and how so many strong black colleges. I mean, there's still a few that are pretty strong, but so many of them, they lost it, and they don't even exist anymore because all the blacks were sent off to the white schools. I mean, the black communities were building identity, we're building community, we're building people,
Right. Right.
and had great support systems and strong family structures. And the Civil Rights Act, man, it I mean, what did the Civil Rights Act do? The Civil Rights Act ended state laws discriminating against blacks, and then basically violated the Fourth Amendment with the freedom of association by
Right.
declaring discrimination somehow illegal. And
Right.
I'm not condoning discrimination, but
No,
I
it
would
replaced one form of forced association with another
with
form of
another
forced.
form of
Yep.
association,
Right.
and in
And a
it, and
form
in
and a
the
form that didn't allow black people to congeal and create their own communities. It only would have helped them if you believe that they
you have any
are.
thoughts?
What?
What are you thinking as you're hearing this?
I hear you talk all the time, so I've kind of like, I don't know.
Are you paying attention, or are you like white noise?
Yeah, at this point.
I am at white noise zone now, Father. Usually I get about 3 minutes, and then white noise glance comes over.
I see the look. I see what happened. She'll be engaged, and then you start talking, and she just kind of like
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of looks off, and you can think. I picture that you're thinking of the vegan YouTube channel lady from earlier.
Freely? Really?
Like I'm
Oh my
thinking
God,
of
that's why I did a
vegan
new video.
YouTube videos. I bet there's a new one that I'll get to check out as soon as the show ends.
Well, she's interesting. I told my daughter like 85% of what she says. I'm like, oh yeah, and I got to give props to the girl. If I ever meet her, I'll shake her hand because I've been talking to my daughter for years. Coming home, and she starts watching Freely videos, and then all of a sudden she's like, okay, I'm ready to come home. I mean, I got to give it up, but 15% of what she says, I don't even know. I know.
Are you
I
prepared to give
don't
up
even know.
bacon?
I've been
I am-
vegetarian for 2 years.
No, not you,
Someday.
Paul. It's Paul. I know
Oh,
you're
Paul.
ready.
I am
'cause you
not
just said you're
talking
going
about
vegan.
turning vegan. I didn't say that. Oh,
So
you
then
don't
you
look
don't-
at me.
So then you don't support your daughter.
I support my daughter's choice, but I don't support her choice necessarily being my
Oh,
choice.
So
I separate from her on this.
what do you want to say to your daughter about bacon?
What do I want to say to her about bacon? I will say to her that I respect your opinion to deprive your life of the happiness that it so richly deserves that it can never attain since you don't eat bacon.
More bacon for
Your
you.
life, yes, it will be homeless and penniless and 30 pounds overweight with 13 cats. Not
Guinea
not
pig.
guinea pigs.
Guinea pig.
Cats. No, cats.
Just
Unless, of course, you start eating bacon again. Now, this is not my wish for you because I love you and I want the best for you. I'm
Neither
only
of us want
describing
this
what
for you.
is. I'm not making a value judgment. I'm only describing what is.
if you choose this, then
If you choose this path, I support you.
he supports you.
Misery. I support you making yourself miserable. I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm pretty proud of her that she's.
No, it's a very
I mean, it's a
principled
tough
stand to make. Look,
right?
I like eating animals way too much to care about them.
Well,
So
the thing is, it's a tough decision to make. It's kind of like even this unschooling decision.
yeah, that's a bit. These are big choices you're making.
And these are her decisions. I can't. I do peaceful parenting. I try to, but
Do I do what on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you rate me in peaceful parenting? 10 being totally peaceful, 1 being he beats me and puts cigarettes out on me at night while I'm sleeping.
8.5.
I think that's pretty good. I think.
So wait, no, wait, I forgot which one was 10. So 10 is peaceful or 10 is cigarettes?
10 is peaceful.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
1 is I put cigarettes out you in the middle of the night while you're sleeping.
Okay, so 8.5 is actually pretty good. So he puts the cigarettes
I'm actually
out near you.
creating a Google map over a series of burns. That's the plan. That's the cigarette burning thing. That's the strategy behind that.
For where the treasure's hidden.
Eventually, after 3 years of burns, little at a time. She's going to have the entire United States Google map in detail on her back. So she will thank me for that.
Thank you.
And you'll be
See?
able to take that with you everywhere.
Everywhere.
If someone says, "How do you
Everywhere.
get to I-95 from here?" You go, "Let me show you." Just gotta turn around real quick.
Get off my
Go
back.
down 77, 85.
Yeah, get off my back. No, yeah, get the information off my back.
You're in
Get off my back.
Pennsylvania, right?
We are. We're Pennsylvanians.
So I'm trying to remember the roads there. So when we drive to Toronto,
bumpy.
we go up through.
What the heck you go to Canada for?
We have a home there.
Why do you have a home in Canada?
My wife's from Canada
Why is she from Canada?
because her
When
mother
did that happen?
was
How
there
did that
when
happen?
when the thing happened.
Why was her mother in Canada? Who's in Canada anyway?
There are many.
weird.
There are many people in Canada.
I think that's a lie. I think Canada is the same thing as Australia. It's a made-up thing.
Simply Nailogical.
I think.
Oh, who's there?
Simply Nailogical. Yes.
Do you guys know who Simply Nailogical is? Does your wife know who Simply Nailogical is?
I have no idea who Simply Neological is.
I don't want to assume anybody's gender here, but I'm assuming there's a pretty good chance your wife would be more likely to see that video channel than you would. I'm not making judgments, though. Maybe you're really into nail thingies.
No one wants to see your nails.
We get that. Get
Oh, this
the
is a
hollow
nail.
one.
Is
Get
this
the
a
hollow
nail
one? Oh, she's
So
all
my
about
wife's-
the hollow. Get the hollow on top.
Yeah, she's a
And tacos and the tacos, and she's a holosexual, and she's got the taco. What is the taco thing? What is that?
hollow taco.
Hello taco? Hello taco? Oh, she's actually pretty funny. She does it's a channel that I would never watch by myself, but it's like when Neil and I we try to watch like some well mostly we watch what she likes because she she bullies me.
Because she's the woman and you just do what she likes.
She bullies. Well, yeah, women are superior to men. We all know that.
I haven't
anyway.
watched something I want to watch since this show, pretty much.
Really? That's yeah, I haven't done that since like 3 hours ago, I think. Long time. But yeah, you're that. Do you have anything else you want to say? We're probably gonna leave you soon.
We finished The Office and
We're-
Family
oh, yes.
Guy, and I
Oh,
feel
yes.
so empty. It's so sad.
That was a really sad thing. You watched you finished The Office? Yeah,
and
so
Family Guy.
We watched all of seasons of all of them. Both of them.
there's a lot of there was like 11 seasons or something.
9 seasons of The Office, 17 seasons of Family Guy. We watched all the Family Guys. Over
You
like
watched
a
all of Family Guy?
a
Yeah.
3 or 4 month period. We watched.
Yeah.
We've done it. We've accomplished that.
That is
I
impressive.
don't know if it's an accomplishment.
I am proud of it.
That's a
I
pretty
don't
big.
care.
I'm proud of both of you. That's a big accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment. I mean,
It's nothing I'm
you know,
going to
I
try to
read-
do.
I read Edward Gibbon's The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, the unabridged version, but yet this is still more impressive than that.
That's considerably
way,
more impressive than reading.
The unabridged version is like 3,000 pages, 2,000, whatever. It was fatty, a big fatty book. It's volumes. Do you ever read that book, by the way, The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire?
No,
You're missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out.
no, I have not. 3,000 pages, huh?
Although I will say, I don't know what it is. What is it? Oh, are you looking it up? What is it? How many pages? Are you looking?
Yeah,
it
of
up?
course I'm looking it up.
I know you are. He's lying.
Who
Never
even
read it.
has
I don't
read
even know
that
what it is.
book except you?
Oh, man. I went through a period of time where I was totally obsessed with Roman history, so I was reading everything. I read.
That book is exactly. It is exactly any minute now.
Oh gosh, this is terrible. The suspense is killing
Exactly.
me.
This is how many pages?
Oh my gosh. Now the cool thing is, whenever you figure out the page size of a book, it's always the same because books are always the same size. The typesetting is always the same. The fonts are always the same. The margins and everything is always the same. So you always know the exact pages.
3,980 pages.
I'd say I'm in the right ballpark then. Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's a big fatty. It's quite a big.
It has 6 volumes, so I'm gonna get right on that as soon as this show ends.
Whoa. Hey! We're doing a show right now. Yeah, we're doing a show. What's up? You want to say something to the audience here? Say something. Oh, you just did. And there's at least 3 people watching the show right now, so you're famous.
Millions of people watching this show right now.
So okay, you're off. What's up? Hurry up. Oh my gosh, yes, get bananas. Get bananas. Yes, please. Bananas and milk. Milk. Get milk too.
Get grapes.
All right.
Have her get.
Don't
have the
get
person.
grapes. We don't
No,
wanna talk
get
You
about
can
grapes.
get
They're
grapes
so.
if you want to.
Get
Okay.
grapes. They're so good
Goodbye.
right now. The
Love you,
grapes are
bye.
really in season.
All right, love you. Bye. There you go. I just want to
Why
let
does
you
she
know.
have to call?
Well, I only answered her because usually she doesn't call
Yeah.
when she's. And I thought, well, maybe she's broken down. That's why I answered her. I did have it on mute. You didn't hear it.
Why did you not have her get grapes though?
Yeah, because grapes are the devil's food. People who eat grapes inevitably vote libertarian.
Well, I'm disgusted at that insinuation.
I don't know what you mean. All I said was that the grapes are the devil's food, and that people who eat it vote libertarian. I mean,
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining our show. I
don't
want
see a
to.
connection there.
There's no way they could ever be libertarian.
Can't make that connection.
Paul, I don't want to hear you talk anymore. Nela, I want Nela to tell me from all of the. What have you? If you had to sum up everything you've learned during the time of this show in less than 20 words.
You
Do that
take
right
more
now.
than 20 words. Don't listen to him. He's not your boss.
We're all gonna die.
Yes. That is exactly true, everyone. We're all going to die.
That was less than 20 words, too. Hey. Does she get a bonus for that?
Paul, I'm feeling charitable. Besides the fact that we're all going to die, what is the final thing you want to say?
Okay, the final thing that I want to say is I think that we should try to stay away from the fear porn. I think we should try to stay away from the whole dehumanization tactics that everybody's deploying all around us. And I think that we should focus on disentangling and helping others to do the same. And by we, I mean anybody who really would like to see this whole bloody affair come to an end. There, that's it.
When we
That's all I
die.
have. When
We die
don't
because we're all
die.
going to die.
we don't die. There is no death. Death is a human construct. There is only
Is death a
transmogrification.
spook? Is death a spook?
Death is the ultimate spook, but there is no death. There's only transmogrification. So, that's really what we're talking about here. This is ASMR, and today I am.
That's my thing.
Oh, give us some ASMR.
No, it's creepy when kids do it.
Oh,
really
is it? Oh, okay. Can I? Okay, but you can do this. Like, this isn't creepy, is it? If you just do this, is this creepy?
What, are we doing ASMR now?
Yeah. Yeah, we've traveled.
There, hear that? Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I got these grapes. You like grapes?
This is a show where I show everybody my grapes.
Do you like grapes?
If you like grapes, you're gonna love this show.
Does that make you feel good with the grapes?
I do not feel right. This is terrible. This is probably the worst thing worst show that's ever.
No, this is the best show I've ever had ever.
This is the best show.
This is the
best
format we're doing from now on. I'm gonna rub things against the microphone, and then every once in a while I'm gonna have a child tell us that we're all gonna die.
show. Right, and don't forget the grapes. Somewhere there's grapes. Always grapes.
There will definitely always be grapes because this is no longer a libertarian show. This is a show about
It's a
grapes.
grape show.
And it's a grape,
grape show.
ASMR death show for children.
ASMR grape death show. Yes, it's
A
a standard
children's-
ASMR death show. Grape show.
A children's ASMR grape death show.
I mean, look, there's a template. I mean, come on. Here it is. Children's ASMR death grape show. There's the
I'm
template.
very happy about it. This show is going to do so much better now that I finally know that it's going to be about ASMR, grapes, and
Death
children telling us we're all going to die.
and children don't. Although you're not really a child.
I'm a teenager.
Say
I'm a teenager. If that makes anything better, but it doesn't really.
She's a minor age.
She's a
She
human
is-
being, sir. She's
she
a
is
human being.
Legally,
Listen. You're assuming so much constructs here that it's
if she
beyond
wants to
me
become
that you have not first attempted at least to deconstruct her to a pile of nothing before you went and assumed so many things? Have you no decency?
If she wants to become an adult, she has to go through the
Have you
legal
no
process.
decency? Do you not feel that it is right and proper to deconstruct her to nothing and then figure out how to recompose her? I mean, that's the decent thing to do.
This is how I deconstruct people.
It's what I do. It's what I do. I tear you down, I destroy you, and then I build you up.
You're not really a person.
There are
per
knives
se,
involved,
Nela.
but those are metaphorical.
Yeah, you're
What?
not. You could be a person.
You don't know that.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining.
That was great. Good times.
Guys,
Good times.
stick around real quick. I'm going to talk to you during the outro and get all of your addresses to put on the notes. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Again, tomorrow is the writer's block with Matt Wright. He has, I don't know who his guest is, but it's going to blow your mind. Paul's definitely not going to be there. Matt Wright is going to blow. Matt Wright is going to blow your mind with whatever he has. You're not going to believe what he does on Thursday. And then on Tuesday is the Muddied Waters of Freedom with me and Matt Wright. We are going to have our Election Day extravaganza. Electravaganza Mageddon.
That's right. It's election next
Election
next
night.
week, yeah.
Paul Gordon will no doubt be joining us.
I probably will not.
Up to the minute. No, he'll be there. Up to the minute.
Metaphorically.
No, physically in one of our studios. Metaphorically. No, you said metaphorically.
I
Literally.
said metaphorically. Yeah,
No, you said that, not me. Literally.
You're-
He'll literally be there.
literally.
And up to the minute, Election Day night, Election
Yes.
night coverage. We will have minute by minute every
Wall to wall.
single sociopathic liar,
Every
that gets
single
more
race
votes.
of every country,
every
of every
race.
state,
We will cover it
of every
county
county, of
by
every
county.
town.
You
Of
will know,
every undertaker that's running for public undertaker,
if you want to know
and there's a lot of them.
the El Paso County chairman's race, we will have those actual
We
results.
will
We
we'll
will
have
a-
those live streamed.
We will have a ticker going across here.
Probably
so fast.
1,000 tickers.
It's going to have all the results going. It's going to be,
Yes.
you won't even be able to read it.
1,000
Just be going
tickers.
like,
right,
right?
yes,
Because
and all
it'll
of
be
them running fast. Yes.
12,000 races going, which, like that. It's going to be insane. Paul's definitely going to be there. And so that's Tuesday. And then next Wednesday, I have the beautiful Jason Romano. He's a beauty of a man. I'm going to have him on. We're going to talk about dancing.
You talk about the beauty of men a lot. I've noticed that. I mean, I'm gonna float it out there. I'm gonna.
We only have beautiful men on this show.
That's true.
We only
Well,
have. We don't
you had
do
Lou
the ugly man trope
You
on
had
this
Lou
show.
on. You had Lou. I guess he's your token. I'll go. That's what it is.
You know, I think Lou has a ruggedness,
Lou is a very handsome man. I'm just
a
kidding.
handsome ruggedness.
He's a very
And
handsome
beards. We're doing beards. I grew out my red Jew beard, and now we're all doing this.
man. Is it an actual Jew beard? It doesn't really look like an actual Jew beard.
It is
I mean,
literally the beard
I don't
of
know.
a
Just
Jew.
because you're Jewish, that doesn't automatically mean that you get a Jew beard. You
It's
kinda have
red
to earn
and
that.
curly.
I don't think it's earned. I don't see it.
If
I
you
don't
look
see it.
closely, you can see the Jewishness of it.
No, I see basic white dude. I'm sorry. I
Do you see
basic white
is the
beard.
redness pulling from the color?
No. Base white dude. Base white beard. That's what it is. It's base white beard. That's what you have.
You're never going to be on the show again,
I don't know why you said that.
except for Tuesday. But
Except
that's
for-
technically not my show. That's Matt in my
Right,
show. You'll be on
right,
that
right.
show. Never on this one again, though.
Right.
Stop
Probably
doing that.
for at least
don't-
4 or
don't do
5
that.
or 6 weeks. At least.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be on this show for the rest of this year.
Yeah,
Okay?
well,
Shock?
okay. Well, that's probably true.
It's more than likely true. Because I do have other guests.
It's likely
guys-
true. It's likely true. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have you on my show sometime. I don't have a name for my show, and my show is just basically I'm just live streaming and people that I do shows with. Some people be on last week. It was Lou and Bodie and me and Ty on the Swaraj.
I'm looking forward to being on your show.
Yeah, I'll have you on.
I
my
want to
show.
watch you lose your mind trying to figure out how to get all this.
Oh yeah,
other
it's
stuff
so much easier to be the guest, folks. It's so
Love
much easier
that.
to be the
I
guest.
love it. I get to sit back and go,
easier.
oh, I never do this. My show
Yeah.
goes very smoothly, but you go ahead. So, guys, thank you so much for. No,
I was awkward. I feel like we had a connection. Everything was flowing, and then there was a little bit of a second guessing, maybe.
There was no flow. No flow at all. So
Right.
real quick, Nela,
23.
What?
23. I bet you that's the answer.
We're all gonna die.
thank you so much. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to My
Nice.
Fellow Americans. We will see you next week for the Electravaganza Mageddon, and then on my show, and then on the other show. And then tune in tomorrow as well.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you again, and God bless you.
Can't make a change if you never try. We are not the same. That's a clever lie, disguised in guises like my skin, my friend. In reality, you are my kin, though I view the world through another's iris. If you slide in my kicks, it might fit. We might just unite and come together, become hybrid, at the least slightly like-minded. Indeed, the life I've lived brings light to kindness. All you need is a sign. Put a cease to the crimes. Put an ease to the minds like mine. Sometimes darkness is all I find. You know what they say about an eye for an eye in a time when the blind lead the blind. Who am I to deny? I would cry when a loved one dies. I recognize that body outside, bullet holes in the body that was alive. Now confined to a chalk outline. Find out how, but you never know why. It ain't even make it to the news at 9. It ain't even make it to the news at 9. That's my sister, mother, father, brother, son. That's one of mine. All these years I close my eyes, open up to only find I'm in line. There's a pointless murder happening all the time. Either lose your life or mine. Caught up in them versus die. That ain't how it started, nah. How were we supposed to survive? There's a war going on outside. Who would want to raise a child? Whom the storm is flashing by. Now you have to say goodbye when you watch them on the news at 5. Don't tell me how, tell me why.
We